Hi everyone, I'm L.E.D. First of all, thank you very much for watching my videos and for subscribing to my channel. So in this video, what I want to show you is how easy it is to come up with a Christmas show. Sometimes it's haunting, looking at videos or reading about all the things that you need to worry about, like all the pixel ports, channels, power injection, getting xlights up and running, getting your controller, having both sides talk. And I know it looks kind of hard, but in this video, I'm going to show you how within less than an hour, you can actually have something up and running on xlights and upload your configuration automatically to your controller. And this will make your life very easy. Now we're going to be using a tool from xlights called Visualizer, which allows xlight to take control on your ports and your channels and then automatically upload them to your controller. So both sides will match and you will not have things going out of sync when you build a sequence. And along the way, I'm going to show you a few tricks that will make things easier for you. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. All right, so we have xlight open. This is my layout that I currently have. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder where I'm going to show you, how you can come up with your own layout and how easy it is to get a show running. So I'm going to go into the controller staff. And here we have two buttons. One that says change permanently and change temporarily. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the change temporarily. I'm going to create a new folder, and that's what our new show is going to be. I'm not losing anything that I have right now. It will still be there, but in another folder, which right now is show 2022. So I'm going to click change temporarily, and I'm going to go into show 2022, and I'm going to tell it that I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to name it xlights control. I'm going to click away from it. Then I select that one and click select folder. So now, if you notice, now we are in a folder called xlights control. And the layout is empty and my controllers are empty, right? Now, we still have our show sitting in another folder. Don't think that you just lost it. It's not lost. It's just sitting in another folder. And then we can always go back by clicking change. Restore to permanent. It will go back to our show 2022, which means that you can have different layouts, or you can play around, with your layout, and then without losing a previous version of your show. All right, so let's say that, let's go to the layout, and let's say they're going to start a brand new show. So I'm going to start by putting a mega tree. I'm going to put it just right here. And I'm going to change some values. I'm going to tell it there's going to be 180 degrees, which is half of a tree. I'm going to tell it that I have also only one string is made up of 1,000 pixels, and it's going to zigzag up and down 10 times. Okay, so there it is. That's my mega tree. I'm also going to include some candy canes, let's say. So I'm going to click the create a download. I'm going to drag these corners, and I'm going to choose a candy cane from Buscayo Studio. Let's get one that has, let's say 100 pixels, just to make things round numbers. So we got snowflakes, arches. Where are the candy canes? There are candy cane. And we got 100 pixels on this one. Is that right? Yeah, pixel count 100. I'm going to insert that model. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to copy it, let's say 5 times. So I select it and I do Control C and then Control V. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, so now we got 4 candy canes, and we got our candy canes right here. So I'm going to put them in order. just like this. And also I'm gonna add some arches. So here is the arches. I'm gonna put one right here. And let's say that I'm gonna have just 3 of them. So Control copy, Control V, and V. So I'm gonna drag this one over here and this one over here. All right, so let's say that this is our layout for this year, just plain and simple. Now we can see that xlights added all those elements to our models and automatically just assigned some channels to it. So now the next step will be, now that we have our show, well, we need to upload this setting to our controller. I've shown you how you can do this by hand, but there's another way to do it, which is using the visualizer, and that is the next thing that I'm going to show you. All right, and now we're going to go into our controller stuff. So again, it's empty. I have no controllers defined, so I'm going to start by defining the controller that I have. I'm going to click on Add Ethernet, and I'm going to give it a name. By the way, I have my Falcon F16B4 plugged into the back of my router, and I know the IP address, so I will be adding that information in a while. So first of all, I'm going to give it a name, F16B4. Make sure that you add the vendor and the model. F6 is a Falcon F16B4. So now make sure that you have the auto layout model selected, as well as auto size and full xlight control. So let's hover over this and see what auto layout model says. It says auto layout model causes xlights to move models around in the controller channel range to optimize them, which this means that xlights is going to move your elements around in the channel just to make sure that the range is okay. Now the auto size, this will cause xlight to dynamically change the number of channels on the controller to ensure that you are exactly enough for the models. So pretty much again, xlight is going to change the value of your channels to make sure that you have enough for those models. And then the last option is full xlight control. This option, when uploading the configuration of all unused ports of the controller, okay, it will erase the configuration of all unused ports. So this means that if you have some ports that you already have defined on your controller, this will override everything that you have. And if you're not being used anymore because of our definition that we're just about to do, they will be erased. By erase, it means just blanked, which is okay. We don't need to have things that are not being used or definitions in our controller that we're not using anymore, right? Now, kind of dangerous, yes, it is in the future, but remember, everything has to be the same in xlights than on your controller, all right? So for now, we can select all those, make sure that all those 3 boxes are selected. And I'm going to move myself a little bit to this side. And then I know the IP address, which is 10.0.0.248. And I'm going to click Save. And now I have the definition of my controller. Okay, I'm going to click Open just to see if it actually opens. And there it is. This is my controller. Now, let me show you one thing. If I go into the output settings and pixels, I already have some definitions in here. But I'm going to show you that what we just about to do is going to override what I have with a new definition. And that's what I want to do, right? So I'm going to close this one. And then now that we are done with the definition, now we have this button on the bottom that's called Visualizer. So I'm going to click on it, and it opens up this screen. And if you notice on the left, I have all of my elements. I have the candy canes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I got 1, 2, 3 arches, and I got my tree. So now I'm gonna, on the left, I have all my ports. I have 16 ports right now, and 1 serial port, but we're not using the serial port. So we got 16 ports. The before I mean, the F16 has 16 ports out of the box, so that's why we have 16 ports in here. And this definition comes from here. The model is the F16B4, right? And we can change this to be something else. And the variant right now is 16 local ports. And maybe in the future you will have some small receivers, or you will have an expansion board. And I've just changed this setting. It will change the setting of the number of models, no, not the models, of ports that you have on the visualizer. But for now, it's only 16 ports, all right? So visualize again. So now what I'm going to do is I need to make a decision of how I want to organize all this, where my tree is going to go in my ports, where my arches are going to go, and where my candy canes are going to go. So to make things simpler, I'm going to just drag and drop the tree on port number 1. That's what I want it to be connected. And then I'm going to drag my arches. I'm going to put them on port number 2, one after another one. They're going to be in a long string. And now my candy canes, I'm going to plug them on port number 3. So I'm going to start by moving this one over here, then another one over here, and so on. So now I have my definition. I just made the decision about how I want to organize my elements when it comes to the ports on my controller. So now the only thing I have to do is I'm going to exit out of this window, and I'm going to click save before something else happens. I'm going to go to my layout, and now if you see, the start channels have changed. Now I have the tree on port number 1, then I have my arches on port number 2. Now I have my candy canes on port number 3. And if you notice, now the start channels are in order. And this is what we want to do. We just gave xlights control of all that, and that's fine. It's just making decisions for us. We don't have to worry about that. So now that this is ready, we need to upload it to our controller. So we're going to go back to the controller, and then we have this button. Let me select it. Move it over here. That says upload output. So what it's going to do is upload this definition to our controller, all right? So keep an eye on my screen as I click upload output. So here we go. And it says uploading pixel output, and on the bottom says Falcon output upload complete. Wow, that was fast. Okay, let's see what happened with our controller. So I'm going to click open. And here we are. I'm going to go into this output settings and pixels. And now if you see, it erased the previous configuration that I have. And now I have on port number 1, I have my tree with 1,000 pixels. Then I have my arches with 150 pixels. So why is this? Well, what it did is it added all 3 of them to one string, right? The Falcon doesn't care about what elements you have plugged into a port. It just needs the full number of pixels. So it has 150 pixels in total for those 3 arches. And the candy canes, now it says 500 pixels. We knew our candy canes were 100, and we have 5 of them, so we have a 500 pixels, and it automatically changed all the start and end channels. So we are pretty much done here. We have our configuration of our Falcon controller, and it didn't take too much time, right? I mean, it's this easy. Now, if we go to the E131, which is the channels that the Falcon needs to have open in order to receive data or from our xlights, it also automatically added 10 universes with 5,100 channels, right? So all the configuration is done. pretty much we can start plugging pixels into our controller and doing some sequences. Now, I know the next question will be, what if I make a change? Well, let's do that. So let's say that we come out to our layout and we add more stuff. Let's say that we added a star, and we're going to place the star right here. Right now we have a star. Let's say that we have a matrix. I'm going to drag and drop a matrix over here. I'm going to make a small change in here. I'm going to say that we have one string just to make things easy. Again, 1,000 pixels, and it's going to zigzag 10 times. There it is. 10 times, and I'm just going to expand. And there's our matrix. All right. So what will we do next? Go to our visualizer. So we'll go into the controllers, click visualizer, and look at that. We have a matrix and we have a star now. Now we can move things around. We can drag and drop this on my tree. And if you want to, you can move this over here. You can make changes, and they will be automatically uploaded. And I want my matrix now on port number 3. Let's say that's the setup that we want now. Okay, then we'll close this, click save, and again we're gonna upload our outputs. So upload output. It says error port allocated for a maximum of 24. Okay, that's a good thing. So it says that port number 1, we can only we have 150 channels, pixels, and we can only have 124. So that's a problem. See? Okay, good. It did good. So then I'm going to go back to my visualizer and say, well, I cannot have this in here. So, well, I'm going to just plug it in by itself in another port. Close that. And then again, upload. And there we go. Let's open up. Go into our pixels. And there it is. Now we have the tree, we have the arches, now we have the matrix in port number 3, we have our candy canes in port number 4, and we have our star by itself on port number 5, right? And again, it automatically decides how many channels, the start channel, the end channel for us, so we don't have to worry about that. So this is what I want to show you. It is really easy to start a show just within a few minutes, right? Go back to xlights, and this is our layout. Okay, I'm going to save this, no problem. All my controllers already saved, and there you go. Now you want to go back to your old show, just go and restore to permanent. All right, now we are back in our show 2022. There's my layout that I had before. I have my controller, which is a Culp 8B with its definition. That's perfect. You want to change back? Okay, change temporarily. I'm going to go to my xlights control. And here I go. I have my F16 before, and I have my layout. Right? You're not losing information. Everything, just all you need to learn is how to switch between shows and all that. All right, guys, so this is what I want to show you. I'm going to pause the video here because I do want to show you one last thing for those new people is plugging some of the pixels to the controller. All right, there's a lot of questions about it, so I will make a small pause and I'll come back with the settings. Okay, so this is a close-up of the Falcon Controller F16 ports. And just as a reference, this is port number 15, and we have the positive, then we have the data, then we have the clock, and we have the ground. For the pixels WS2811, we only need the voltage, which is positive, then the data, and then the negative. And this is the setup that I have right here. Is the positive, the data, and the negative. So this goes just right in here. Just like that. Now, this pigtail that I just plug in is pretty short. It's only like 5-6 inches long. So chances are that you're gonna be using an extension from this to the pixels, right? Right now, well, you can just plug them straight into it. Of course, this is not going to work because this is pretty close. It's a very short extension, but you can put in an extension in between 5 or 10 feet. So this is how easy it is actually to plug your pixels to your board. All right, well, thank you very much for watching this video. This is all I want to show you. As you see, it's pretty simple to come up with a Christmas show. All right, so please subscribe to my channel, give it a thumb up, and I'll be seeing you soon. Thank you.